What's up, YouTube? Simply Skilled here. This is a Magic the Gathering video that I'm going to try and make pretty quick, even though there's plenty of ground to cover, even though it's a pretty simple topic, and you'll get your opinion on it soon. So, Bonfire the Damned is a card that's taking over Standard right now, as we all know. I've complained about it, you've probably complained about it. Everyone has complained about Bonfire the Damned beating them in a game, once or twice. At least once. I'm guilty of complaining about it too. I've gotten pretty upset over it. So, it's obviously a good card. Like, it's overpowered, and with what I'm about to say, I've also used it. So I've also become, haha, I'm gonna wipe your face with like modify the damn. There go all your creatures, and I'm gonna do damage. And I win games like that too. Um, but also, when I saw Redirect get reprinted, I know I shouldn't have thought this, but after a little bit of thinking, um, and I shouldn't have thought this because the general rule about cards like Redirect is that it's a bad card. You shouldn't be playing with it. Like, that's what everyone says. Because, I mean, I'm not saying no one's thought of it before, but no one's really put it into practice as often. Like, no one's really play tested as much as they should have with Redirect. Um, I mean, maybe it's just me thinking like this because of my local meta or whatever, or just because I'm a scrub, but I was totally joking at first. It was entirely 100% joke. I would say it and not even believe in what I was saying because I was taking the general knowledge that Redirect's a bad card. But after like me saying that as a joke and people making like arguments against it, I started to think, well, I can totally beat those arguments, so why shouldn't this card be played? Which I'm going to try and get a play group going, which I'm really desperate for a play group right now. Like I have a local hobby shop and all that, and I have players that I play with, but I don't have like a play group. Like, yeah, I'm pretty new to competitive Magic, so. But yeah, the arguments that they made were, if you're sitting on 2 blue, your opponent's gonna know, and also, what turn are you afraid of Bonfire of the Damned? Are you afraid of it turn 5 or turn 6? With which, since I play red green aggro, I responded with turn 6 because that's when I have my stage 2 built up, and that's when I have my creatures out there that are ready to take chunks out of my opponent. And that's usually when I'm also at my lowest life. So I responded with turn 6, turn 7, turn 6. So then they said, okay, if you're sitting on, then like 2 people said in unison, if you're sitting on 2 blue, your opponent's gonna know. I'm like, okay, well, how often is Delver sitting on 2 blue? I'm not saying, oh, here's more power for Delver. Here, you can beat Bonfire, which I've actually beaten Delver with Bonfire. Or yeah, I've beaten Delver in a game with Bonfire. I'm not saying, oh, here's more power for Delver. Like, I'm not saying that. Which, you can use this knowledge however you want, but you can redirect Bonfire. Like, that kills their creatures and does damage to them. Like, Delver's sitting on 2 blue way too often to just say, oh, why would you sit on 2 blue? Like, they start sitting on 2 blue since turn 3. Turn 3, they start sitting on 2 blue. Sometimes even turn 2. Like, I've seen Delver go turns and turns and turns without tapping in. Okay, they'll eventually mana leak something. But if on turn 5 they've already casted Restoration Angel, or they could have already casted Restoration Angel and done something stupid crazy, and then you're down to your last play pretty much because you're about to get your face beaten, and you're like, I think I have an answer to this, and then you're like, oh, top deck Bonfire of the Damned for 4 miracle, and then they have all their lands untapped, and they already played Restoration Angel. It's like turn 6, redirect. Like, they have the mana open to do that. Like, in matchups I've played against, Delver at least, like, they have the mana open to do that. So I'm not saying redirect is like the best card and everyone should run it because it's so stupid and no one's ever gonna expect it and blah 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 blah. Innovation blah 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 blah. Rogue game playing blah. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in tempo-y control decks, like, this card is a card that can be thought of. Like, you can even, okay, I'm not gonna say main board immediately, but you can think about sideboarding this card. Then how many times do you get beaten by Bonfire the Damned? Game 1. Not even game 2. I'm not even talking about post sideboard. Oh, I just sideboarded in my 3 Bonfire the Damned and I'm gonna kill you. No, it's not like that. It's like you get beat game 1 with the 2 that they had in the deck. And then they had like 1 or 2 in the sideboard. So you can mainboard redirect. Like, it's not only good against Bonfire the Damned, it's also good against cards like, alright, here, random thought. If they Red Sun Zenith you for like 7 on like turn 7, they're probably down to 7 life already, unless you're, doing it wrong, which it's arguable that, redirect is doing it wrong. And I said this video was going to be quick, but I told you there was a lot of ground to cover. What else can they do? Like, Doomblade. Doomblade. Why would I want to like kill one of their creatures? Well, what if they have like a bomb out there? What if they have like a Grave Titan out there, and you're just like, they just took away my side, or let's say Sun Titan, or my Grave Titan. Okay, you're gonna have 2 blue open, maybe not. All right, fine. What if it's like turn 8? And you're playing it's Solar Flare versus Solar Flare. It's like turn 8, and some Solar Flare decks run Frost Titan. I don't know. Like it's something to think about at least for sideboard in those decks. I mean, they're not exactly tempo yet. Okay, let's try this again. Like say, yeah, like back to the Delver thing. Say like you have a Restoration Angel out there, or like a flip Delver. And they try to Doomblade it, which I don't get why you're Doomblading Delver and not gut shotting it, but that's just me. This video is really long. You can just redirect the Doomblade. Like you can just kill one of their creatures and get value out of that. It's basically like as if you cast Doomblade with like paying 2 blue. Like you understand that lets you cast your opponent's spells. Like maybe I'm going way too far in this and I'm going on a tangent and totally just rambling and rambling and rambling. But it's usable for other spells too. And I'm not saying it's like the best card. Everyone should run freaking big redirect, and it's like awesome, and you're gonna win games. No, I'm saying it's something to think about. Well, anyway, this video was way too long. I'm gonna go now. I'll see you guys next time, and I guess this is content for the week. I don't know. See ya.